Refugees being resettled in 5 states, many bringing one disturbing thing with them. America is still suffering the effects of former President Barack Obama's idiocy as a plane full of refugees are currently being resettled across 5 U.S. states. Unfortunately, things have gotten much worse as we've learned about the one thing that many of these so-called refugees have brought along with them, and it's downright disturbing. For those unaware, America isn't done with the chaos created by Obama just yet, as many of his policies are still haunting us to this day. In fact, during his last months in office, he signed the Australian-US refugee deal, where he promised to take 1,250 Middle Eastern refugees who were in Australia. Even though President Donald Trump has since referred to the agreement as a dumb deal, it seems that it's time to pay the piper. In fact, the first group of 50, mostly male refugees, have been flown into the U.S. and are being resettled across 5 states, including Georgia, Oregon, Colorado, Texas, and Arizona. However, those residing in those states may want to keep an eye out, as we've most recently learned, one disturbing thing that many of them brought along with them. According to Breitbart, many of the refugees being allowed in have brought with them mental illness and will need treatment once they're in their new homes. Who's paying for this? Who's paying for the new homes? The taxpayers? Are you kidding me? Fellow Americans, we better start waking up where we're giving our money. We have single men coming from coming to the U.S. from Sri Lanka and Iran and Afghanistan. Refugee resettlement expert Ann Corcoran said they've been held in detention for 4 years. They're free once they get here. They'll be totally free. They're going to need mental health treatment. And who's paying for that? Sadly, that's only the half of it, as many of them have exhibited sexually predatory behavior as well. So these are the people that we're letting into our country. So they're already a hindrance to drain the taxpayer. Who's paying for all of this? We all know that rape and other various forms of sexual assault run rife with refugee camps. That we know. From Sweden and Germany and all the rest of them down there, and England. But Obama didn't seem too concerned about that, or things like assimilation, really. In January, a refugee from Sri Lanka living in the detention center raped an 18-year-old high school student multiple times after taking her to a nearby hotel, according to Loop. The girl tried to run away to a relative's home but suffered so much blood loss from the brutal rape that she eventually fainted. In another case in March, law enforcement officials confirmed that a 28-year-old Pakistani from the detention center had been charged with raping a 10-year-old girl, The Guardian reported. Just a month later, refugees from the detention center were accused of trying to lure a 5-year-old boy into the facility, causing an uproar in the local community about the danger the foreign nationals have become to children, as New Corp Australia Network reported, source Breitbart. In all, America isn't getting much out of this deal, unless, of course, you count the progression of the liberal agenda. The U.S. will only have to pay more money for these people, as they'll all likely become a part of the welfare state, and that's the least of what is going to happen. As indicated by the previously listed cases, these refugees will likely come here and inflict their barbaric ways upon the American people. Even though Obama couldn't concern himself with such horrors, it's only a matter of time before we start hearing about your fellow countrywoman being raped by these refugees without a second thought. Pay more and put the lives of Americans at risk. That's what we're getting out of this so-called deal, quote, and that pretty much sums up Barack Obama's entire presidency. This is a damn shame to see unvetted and unassimilated people being allowed into our country because of the will of someone who is no longer in charge. If ever there was a time for President Donald Trump to put his foot down and say not today, this won't be it for the sake of all Americans. And the liberals, this is what Antifa are fighting for, and the liberal agenda to bring in more of these leeches. I mean, are you kidding me? I mean, you know, it's time to start not giving your money away. That's basically it. They're using our money to destroy us. Are you kidding me? You know, everybody should be in an uproar about this, believe me. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. And again, thank you so much for watching.